Hello, my name is Simona Rodriguez. I'm a student at the University of San Diego, and today I want to walk you through my proposal for post-COVID housing typologies. I want to start off by explaining that the main goal throughout this whole project was to maximize outdoor space and really create a housing typology that incorporates this goal into the building itself, not just thinking of it as an outside space as an afterthought. In order to fulfill this goal, I was always asking myself, how can we think of common spaces in a building as exterior, and how can we think of unit typologies that contribute to making and creating this kind of typology. I started off this project by inverting the housing design inside out, and first of all, I created a central ramp, very much like the Guggenheim Museum, that is completely open air space. This ramp, which is spiraling throughout the entire building, creates a funnel-like shape and is at the core of the building because from this ramp, the unit geometry is determined. So the ramp is the element that distorts these units that radiate outward and contribute to creating triangular and square-like unit shapes. Once having this shape created and designated to the housing typology, I really thought of how these units can be modular and they can be plugged in or out of their respective aggregation in order to create different housing unit plans, how they can be joined with the adjacent units in order to double or triple the unit size. Additionally, I thought of designating some of these units as common spaces. And when you unplug one of the units from its place in the whole typology, you join the inside spiraling ramp with the outer facade. So you do have these common spaces throughout the building that, because you plug that unit out, are now outside spaces, and during this pandemic, they can be that common space that still meets all the social distancing guidelines. Once this space was determined, I decided to explore the world of deployable structures because they are very flexible and they're also programmatic. And I think with social distancing rules and regulation constantly changing, we're not in the same spot we were a month or two ago. So we need structures that can respond to these changing needs. When creating rigid and structures that cannot be moved, you limit yourself to these changing times. To respond to this, I researched deployable structures and I looked at various patterns from different architects that really are a way to make flexible spaces within the building, so you do have control of how these structures are placed and how where they are located depending on the current situation and the current need of the housing typology. Additionally, I did surface searching throughout these structures in order to really see all the capabilities such as flexibility, curvature, rigidness, and shape. At the end of my research and my design process, I created this new space that finds its identity between the balcony and the violin. Obviously, the balconies being the residential building typology itself, and the violin being the reimagined occupation of this space. And I created this open public space that is occupied by deployable structures. In the image, you can see how humans and structures cohabitate this open air housing typology that joins inside and outside and allows for a different kind of lifestyle that we have right now, but one that directly responds to the pandemic and the situation we are currently in. Thank you very much for your time. I greatly appreciate the opportunity to be a part of this year's workshop.
수도권을 중심으로 한 코로나19 확산세가 심상치 않습니다.
코로나19 신규 확진자가 110명으로 나흘 만에 다시 세 자릿수로 증가했습니다.